going on, everybody? It's Worldwide coming at you with a brand new video, and this is probably a site that none of you have seen on this channel, or at least a lot of you have not seen, in quite a long time, and that is a Master Duel submenu. I very rarely do content on Master Duel on this channel anymore. I did it like a good few times when Master Duel first came out and it was like really popping. Of course, my Ghost Trick video being the most popular video on my channel for the longest time. Every time I refreshed the page that day, it had like 10 to 20 to whatever more views. It was genuinely insane. But after that, I kind of really didn't do too much Master Duel. I mean, I made like 1 or 2 other videos, I believe. Well, not after the Ghost Trick one, but just in general after I stopped my big wave. And then after that, I just kind of settled on Master Duel. I didn't really play too much of it, though I do play the solo modes, and I did get top 4 with this deck, or a similar list at least, in 5th Rate Duelist's birthday tournament, which was really cool. And what is this deck, you may ask? Well, if it wasn't obvious enough, it is Bird Up. Now, I'm basically known throughout the Yu-Gi-Oh community apparently as the Bird Up guy. I played the deck from release all the way until about a couple of months ago, maybe a little more than a couple months, because of the release of Fire Brigade instead. And while Bird Up is alright in the TCG with its current hits on the list, it's kind of insane in Master Duel. When you look at Bird Up in Master Duel, not only do you have cards like Max C at your disposal and a second copy of Called By, but you of course have the one thing that TCG Bird Up players can only dream of, and that is Samorg, Bird of Sovereignty. Of course, this card is banned in the TCG due to Bird Up on its peak back in, like, God, what was it, November of 2021? Wow, this card's been banned for 2 years. And call me crazy, but even if you removed cards like Maxi and Called By, the second one at least, this deck is more insane in Master Duel than it ever would have been in the TCG, even if Samorg were still legal to this day, just because of the best of one format. Bird Up absolutely thrives in a best-of-one format because it focuses on setting up this massive, unbreakable board that is really difficult to out without specific cards like Dark Ruler, and when you're throwing that in the face of people that aren't really prepared with those kinds of cards because they don't want to sack on them, of course, then it ends up being pretty damn good. I mean, shit, really the only reason I lost in top 4 of that tournament was actually due to Dimension Shifter, which was pretty sad, brought a tear to my eye. But this deck just has so much going for it, especially in Master Duel, and I'm going to showcase that in a few different matches here in the game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alright, so we're back in this. This is actually being recorded separate from the intro and the outro because I was recording some games earlier, but I was in Bronze at the time because I forgot I just hadn't played since the reset. And so I was playing against a lot of new players, or just kind of not great players, but I've clawed my way up to Gold now, so I'm hoping we'll actually have some pretty good matches. And we do win the coin flip here. We kind of get an interesting hand, though. So with this hand, we have to play a bit more like a IRL Bird Up, as opposed to like Master Duel Bird Up, where we go for a little bit more of a conservative line, quote-unquote. We should still be able to end on like some Morg stuff, though. So we're going to use our Turquoise 2 Special Art Barrel Canary, and we're going to turn these into a Recital Starling. I don't think they have any hand traps, because otherwise it would have like kind of paused to give them some priority or something. If they do, they might have Nib, though, which could be a problem. But let's go ahead and use our Recital to search here. I'm going to go ahead and grab... Ooh, they do have a hand trap here. Probably an Ash. Definitely an Ash. Because we didn't search before, but now it's giving me an opportunity. Okay, so if we get Ash, I mean, we have Called By, yeah. Definitely want to Called By that. The issue is that we do have an Ash in hand, but we can always put that back off of our Farragut. So let's go ahead and Called By here, get rid of this Ash. We could still theoretically play through it, but not so great like when you're not playing Revolt like we aren't in this build. So I kind of want to prefer to get my plays off through it. So let's go ahead and continue to search. Let's grab a not Turquoise Orb, like a Sapphire Swallow, sorry. If we get nibbed, I mean, we get nibbed, you know. We still have like a little bit of plays we can do after that, but we should be fine. We should be fine. We do only have the one Tri-type Engrave, so we can't go for like the super nuts combo or anything like that, but it shouldn't be too big of a deal. I think we can still go for the regular full combo here, because we did open at least one other Winged Beast. So I'm going to go ahead and go throughout the line a little bit, and I'll let y'all know when something happens or when we're done with the combo. And we get a Big Bird to round off our board. So that Ash was the only hand trap they ended up having, and I've gone through basically the full combo. The only difference is that we don't have a double Dragon Lords. You need to open Fractal or Tenki to do that. But I'm wondering what they're playing. I mean, they're rocking the Dark Magician and Blue Eyes drip up here, so they're probably playing one of the two there. And that is a deck I've seen hit gold and stuff before, and it looks like they're setting a monster and passing. Okay, I should have guessed. Next. Alright, come on. We got another Blue Eyes mate, but we gotta have someone that's, like, actually good at the game. Come on. Alright, so we opened an interesting hand. We have a lot of stuff that we really don't want to discard, and that's a bit annoying. And it looks like they definitely have something here. Alright. So we could go for a simple Fractal plus any Tri-type combo. The issue is we'll have to get rid of some of our cards in our hand for that, which I really don't want to do, you know? But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So let's go ahead and dump our Nerval here, activating the effect in order to search. Yeah, they had something which is weird, but it looks like they probably toggled Chain off or something, because it's not popping anything up now when they could Ash me. Let's go ahead and use the effect of Karis. I'm going to discard the Sapphire Swallow here, and I'm going to special summon it. And then I'm going to activate the effect of Karis, banishing 4 here. And then hopefully we don't get Imperm. If we get Imperm, we still have Maxi and Ash Blossom to fall back on, so that probably won't be too big of a deal. Let's go ahead and go into a Shurig, and I'm just going to go ahead and see y'all when a card is activated, or when I'm done with my combo again. Ah, it looks like we're getting nibbed here. The question is, do I want to activate Maxi? Nah, I think I'm fine. So that is a little bit unfortunate, given that we aren't playing Revolt or anything, so we don't get too much there. But I think with the Maxi, we should be able to be fine, and that's a great example of why Maxi is just so stupid. We are going to activate Fairshit, though, just in case we can get something. If we can get a Tri-Brigade monster that we can normal summon here, that would be pretty cool, because we'd at least make, like, another Shurig, banish something, or get some sort of play going. Ah, 1 for 1. Interesting. I think I'm gonna put the Maxi back. I know I was praising Maxi here, but I'd actually really like to play the game. We can make a decent board off of this, I'm pretty sure. We can go 1 for 1 here. And now we're getting Ash Blossom. Great. And they're playing Snake Eyes. Alright, listen, man. I mean, I know I said I wanted to play against some better players, but it's a different thing to get nibbed, and then they hold their Ash with Ignored Chain off until you're nibbable. That's just foul, man. That's just foul. But it looks like we got another game, and I lost the coin toss here, so I'll probably end up going second. Well, instead of going second, sorry. But I wonder what I'm going to play against here, and we do have Maxi and Ash Blossom here, so we could end up drawing into some pretty great stuff. And it looks like we're also seeing Snake Eyes here. I'm going to go ahead and shotgun a Maxi here. I might as well. We can get things like DD Crow in our hand and Imperm, which is great. We might get hit with an Ash or a Called By, though. Yeah, so they do have a Called By here. I'm fine with that because that means our Ash is going to go through. Alright, so they added the Startling Stare Trap, which is interesting. Alright, so they had the Divine Temple just chilling there in their hand. I'm assuming they also have Original as well at that point, which is kind of weird. Maybe? That's very interesting. Okay, yeah, okay. I thought they were just going to pass turn or something there. I was like, what? But no, we're going to go ahead and go into the Link Crew play. Yeah, they definitely already have access to the original Sinful Spoils. So we're going to use our Ash on that. It does suck to be able to go into Hida and do some plays off of that. But it seems like they opened a lot of pretty great stuff. And we're actually using the effect of Snake Eye Ash here. I mean, we might as well shotgun. We haven't seen the original technically. But they are losing 2 cards for this. And they're going to have to use the original on like the Poplar if they want to get good value, because otherwise the Flamberge isn't going to have enough targets in Graveyard. So I think hitting with an Ash there is a pretty great idea. Okay, so they do have Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoil. Okay, so they're just going to full combo anyway. Man, here I was playing Bird Up in Master Duel because I didn't want to have to play against Snake Eye and the TCG, but now I'm just getting hit with Snake Eyes in Master Duel. Alright, let's go ahead and activate our Fractal here. I'm gonna be honest, this matchup is really bad, so I'm really just expecting the worst at this point. The last card in their hand was Ash Blossom. Love that for me. Alright, so we got another game here, and I'm hoping this one goes well because it feels like I'm either playing against literal NPCs or one of the most broken decks literally ever printed in both Master Duel and the TCG. It's crazy how Snake Eyes is literally like full power, and even more so powered in this one, but like in both formats, it's just wild. But we do win the coin flip here. We got a whole hero drip setup, so if they're not playing hero, I'm going to be disappointed. But we do have a pretty decent hand full of a lot of gas here. And we're going to go ahead and start off by activating Lyrilusc Bird Call. Does not look like they have something like Ash Blossom, because it definitely would have triggered for them to use that there. Let's go ahead and Special R Turquoise Warbler here, and activate the effects to Special R Cobalt Sparrow. Looks like we have no imperm or anything either, so I'll let y'all know if I run into a hand trap or anything. So, update. They did not have any other hand traps, or any hand traps, period. Probably just playing like an all-gas hero build or something like that, which could be interesting because I want to see how it tries to break the board, because Bird Up's end boards are notoriously difficult to break when it's full power, because you got like an Omni, you got like 4 bounces, a Monster Negate, sometimes also another bounce. This time I was able to get the DD Crow off of a search as well, and we do have an imperm here, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 disruptions, and yeah, it looks like it is hero. So they always start with Vision Hero Ferris, because I mean they always open Vision Hero Ferris. So they are discarding Shadow Mist. Ooh, that could be a little scary. I think, though, they might try to chain block the Shadow Mist with the Ferris, and if that's the case... Oh, no, wow. Okay, so they're actually going to use the Shadow Mist as chain link, too. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just use Ensemble here, detaching the Celestine, and I'm going to bounce the Ferris. Yeah, I'm going to bounce the Ferris here. They are going to get the search off of the Shadow Mist, which is fine. I could have impermed the Ferris too, now that I think about it, as like a chain link 4, but I think it shouldn't be too big of a deal. I'll save that like for the Stratos or something. Alright, yeah, so they are in fact adding Stratos. This is what I figure. I've sat through way too many hero lines at this point. It's like they're almost all predictable. They always start with like the same stuff, and they always end with like Fusion Destiny, because they always end up having it after you go through your disruptions. So they are going to use the Stratos here. I'm just going to straight up imperm this. I don't want to like waste any of my negates or anything on it. I'll wait for Draco Future for something really important. Alright, so they're chaining the Increase here, which is honestly the best play they could have done. But I'm not sure. Do I want to let that go through? Yeah, I kind of have to. So yeah, that is a great way to out my imperm. Very solid. I keep forgetting it's a continuous trap, not a continuous spell. I got like Snake Eyes on the brain. They do get Vion here, but they did use their normal summon, so I'm not sure. So they're going to use Increase, but I don't think I want the Increase to go through. I think I want to use my Draco Future here. I'm going to negate and then steal the Increase and put it on my field, so that they won't be able to utilize it for things like a Link or Fusion play, which is really good. Alright, so they're activating Polymerization now. That could be scary, but I think I'm going to let it go through. Because I'm not sure what they're going to make. It might be like a Malicious Bane, or whatever that one Destiny Hero Fusion is. Not DPE, but like the other one. I think it's Malicious Bane. Alright, so they're actually playing Neos. Interesting. So we're making Elemental Hero Sunrise, which that's going to add Miracle Fusion here. But I'm surprised to see Neos here. I think, though, that I am going to activate the Ensemble Robin, detaching the Cobalt Sparrow to bounce the Sunrise. So they do have the Miracle Fusion, which can be a little bit scary. I might use my DD Crow on Neos for that reason, because I still want to keep holding my Apex Avian. I really want to hold this Apex Avian, because I don't want to run into like a Fusion Destiny and then have like part of my board wiped. I mean, we do have Draco Future, which is like a really good follow-up card as well that's really hard to out. But I think I'm going to just chain DD Crow here. Oh, wait, no, it only summons Elemental Hero, so I'm not sure, actually. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of the Neos anyway, just in case, so they can't use it later as well. But I still want to hold my Apex Avian. It's the Omni Negate, so it's of course like one of the most important parts of the board. And while it is recurable, I don't want my Samorg to die and then not be able to have the Apex back on the field. Though, funnily enough, I have Tribute summoned it a couple of times. So we're banishing the Shadow Mist and the Stratos to make the Flame Wingman Infernal Rage. This adds a favorite card, right? Yeah. From deck or graveyard to the hand. Yeah. Alright. I'm definitely going to Ensemble this away as well, getting rid of the Sapphire. Ensemble being up to like 4 or 5 or even sometimes 6 times per turn is just ridiculous, depending on how many materials you can feed her. I almost said how much gas you want to feed her. She's not a car. But this is going to add a favorite card. That's Favorite Contact. Okay, so that's the one that summons the Grand Neos. So I'm actually kind of scared of that. They also have a lot of cards that just wipe shit, especially like Rainbow Neos and stuff. So I definitely want to save my Apex Avian here. So it looks like they're going to set one card and pass. Yeah, okay, I was definitely in the right for making sure my Apex stays on board guaranteed. So I think... I mean... I think we just go ahead and Celestine here, equip to the Ensemble Robin to make it bigger. We do have a Max C, not too worried about that, honestly. I'm not going to be special summoning at all if I can help it. And then we have the favorite contact, which I do not want going through. Do not want that going through at all. Alright, so we might special summon once. We might go for like a Shurg or something now that we have a zone full, because that will guarantee an OTK. Because let's see, if we have 54, 61, 73. Okay, so this is technically game. You know what I'm going to do, actually? I'm going to do exactly what I said I've done before, though. And I'm going to straight up tribute summon this Apex Avian. This will trigger Kit as well, which is hilarious. This card isn't a hard once per turn, by the way, which is really funny. So if they have anything else... Yeah, okay, looks like they're gonna scoop there. Have you ever seen anyone tribute summon Apex Avian before? It's so fun. Going into our next game here, hopefully this one goes pretty swimmingly as well. We do lose the coin flip, so that can be a little bit anxious. But we should be fine, right? We're playing Bird Up, baby. Best deck, except for when you're playing against anything with a good matchup into it. Alright, so our hand is looking pretty solid. Oh, I just realized they're actually making us go first. I did not even notice that. I was gonna say we have a really good hand for going second, but we actually have a decent hand going first as well. Depends on their disruptions, though, because if we get hit with something at like the right time, or if they have multiple hand traps, this could be a bit of a problem, but this hand actually allows us to go through a very specific combo line, and this one allows us to go for an Ensemble Robin plus a Draco Future, which is pretty cool. Yeah, they definitely have something. I'm just waiting to see what, because I'm really not sure. Let's go ahead and activate our Cobalt Sparrow here. This is going to add probably a Celestine first before we add a Sapphire. Yeah, they have something. I mean, go ahead and use it, man. If you got something, you got something. But I mean, especially if you have the Imperm, because the Recital Starling, when we summon that, they won't be able to Imperm it because of the Cobalt Sparrow, which is cool. So that honestly would have been their best time to Imperm. It would have stopped me from doing like an actual combo. Keep in mind, we are Xyz locked, so we can't make any Tri-Brigade plays this turn, though we can grab certain things for follow-up if we really feel like it. But I think I'm just simply going to go in like the safest route possible, and that is going to be a Utopic Draco Future and I believe a 5 material Ensemble Robin. Yeah, okay, so this is where they messed up really bad. They didn't read Cobalt Sparrow right, and now they have to Imperm the Salamangreat Almirage, because Cobalt Sparrow protects the monster. It gives it the effect that it cannot be targeted by card effects, which is really good. So if they would have hit the Cobalt Sparrow there, it would have been so much better for them, but unfortunately for them, they did not, and that is going to be their downfall. So from the looks of it, I don't think they have any more hand traps. That might have been their only disruption, and if that's the case, that's going to be really good for us. It means also we can save our Called By for their turn, which is cool. So I should be good to go until they disrupt me again, or until their turn. Alright, we have our end board here. I was right at the first time. It is a 4 material Ensemble. And this isn't the strongest board because the disruptions aren't so much like spread out as they are just condensed into 2 monsters. So it's much more prone to removal and stuff. But between the follow-up we have as well with like the Barrel Canary and such, and I'm going to go ahead and shotgun the Max C right here. But between like the follow-up from the Barrel Canary that we search off our Bird Call, as well as the additional things such as the Imperm and the Called By, it can end up being very good for us. Now we're playing against either Cyber Dragon or Drytron here. Probably Cyber Dragon because we are in gold and it is a pretty popular deck on Master. I played against like 3 Cyber Dragon players already today when getting other videos or other replays in, sorry, for the video. And this is probably going to be decent in our favor. Please don't disconnect. That'd be so funny if I activated Max C and they disconnected. Alright, we're going into another game here. We do lose the coin flip and we are going second. So that could be interesting because it seems like everyone that wins the coin flip is trying to make me go first. So this could be a lot better. Alright, so looking at it, our hand isn't great. I mean, opening multiple Tri-Brigades, especially multiple names of Tri-Brigades like Nerval and stuff, is not really amazing, and going into an end board, this is not going to be a particularly great hand, especially depending on the end board. And it looks like we're playing against Evil Eye of all decks. That's kind of random, but honestly a pleasant surprise. So I don't really have any disruptions here. I'm going to let this guy play it out, and oh, that actually might be his turn. Oh, I was actually about to hold on, like, chill, give myself a drink, you know, wait for it to play out, but no, it's literally just that. Okay. We do draw 1 for 1 here. That's a great extender. But I'm trying to think what exact disruptions are here. Okay, so we have a DD Crow, and it looks like that might be it for, like, no disruptions, really, just a DD Crow. We do have some face downs, of course, though, that we do have to worry about, and I was about to say that card in hand could be Ash, and honestly, getting Ashed here isn't the worst thing. We do have a 1-for-1, and that would have been a lot harder on us to get Ashed if we started with that, because we do have to neg a resource, quote-unquote, so I'd rather get Ashed there. Let's go ahead and follow that up with a 1-for-1, then. I'm going to go ahead and send one of these Nervals to get the search early, and I'm also probably going to go for, like, a Celestine here to, like, have a little bit of a bait. And they are going to chain the Medusa here. That's pretty smart on them, I'm not going to lie. That does mean I won't be able to trigger this Nerval. They don't know I have the second one in hand, so, I mean, that's not really something they can be faulted on. That is a very good job on them, though. It's actually a reason why I don't detach the Nerval for cost for the recital instead of just waiting for it to go into the utopic future. Because if I detach it for cost, I'm prone to things like DD Crow, which could be a problem. So I think, do I want to go for the Celestine? Maybe try to bait out a disruption a little bit, because they might not know Bird Call is a hard once per turn or something like that. But I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and activate our Celestine Wagtail here. They do have more things they can chain. If they imperm here, that's going to be great for me. I'd rather them imperm here, where I really do not care about if I get this Bird Call or not. So it looks like they're holding disruptions for now. We do get a Bird Call. That is pretty nice. And I think next, yeah, I think we kind of have to just normal summon this Nerval here. Let's go ahead and normal the Nerval. We don't have anything engraved for it, which is a little bit disheartening. But that's probably what they're checking right now to see if we have anything engraved. But I'm probably going to go into a Recital Starling here and try to get a Sapphire. That'd be my best bet. But I'm not sure if they have Imperm for that, so this could be an interesting game. Let's go ahead and overlay here our recital, into our recital, sorry, I'm so bad at speaking when I'm live talking my duels. So let's go ahead and make recital. I'm gonna go ahead and try to detach the Nerval for cost this time, because I don't have to worry about, like, this as a DD Crow, and I'd rather try to get the Nerval engraved if I can. Blah, blah, blah. If you control an evil eye, target a monster on the field or up to 2. Okay, return it to the hand. I'm fine with this. I'd rather this than, like, an Imperm or something, or, like, another DD Crow kind of effect, because we do get to trigger Nerval here, and that's going to get me a kit, which I can pitch off the Karis and then dump a Fractal, and that is 4 Beast Warrior or Wing Beast in my graveyard for the effect of Karis if I would like to. And I think that might be what I do if I don't go for a Farragut. I might go for a Farragut instead. That could be a better play. That's actually a really good question. Do I want to play it safe and go for, like, the Farragut, or do I want to neg more resources and go for the Shurig? I think I want to go for the Shurig here. It's a bit of a gamble, but fuck it, baby. We're going for it. Okay, cool. We do get the summon of the Shurig here. Do I want to out the face down, though, or do I want to out the Evil Eye of Selene, or Evil Eye of Gorgonio that's treated as Selene right now? Because the Selene is, like, their main focus. We are activating Shurig, and they do have a response here. Bottomless Trap Hole. Of all things. Bottomless Trap Hole? Huh. That is so random. I mean, I might as well just go battle phase here then. I did choose to banish the Medusa because it would get rid of the Gorgonio, even though, to be fair, they does have a graveyard effect, but I don't think the graveyard effect is going to be too prominent because I know they have a really good spell, but it relies on them drawing into an Evil Eye card here. They might draw like a Hand Trap or something instead, which could be good for me. I'm not sure. I don't really know the full Evil Eye game plan. It's one of the decks I've been planning on doing for Sleeper Sunday, but more like a branded build than anything. So I don't know. We do have a little bit of follow-up for next turn, though, and I highly doubt that Evil Eye of all decks can OTK me super easily. So even if we do lose our Karis here, we do still have Bird Call, Cobalt, and then whatever we draw into. Okay, so they did draw an Evil Eye card. Let's see what it is, though. Is it like Surziel or something? No, Evil Eye Awakening. I have so many secret rares of this card from its set, Dark Saviors. So yeah, they're adding the Field spell, and that is a Rhoda, I believe. That's probably going to add the Surziel, yeah. Yeah, on activation, it is an Evil Eye Rhoda. During damage calculator, Evil Eye is attacked while Celine's in the back row. You can make the damage inflicted to your opponent. If it's destroyed by card effect, you can target an Evil Eye engrave and add it to hand. Okay. I think that's fine. That's a really good way to get them back into the game, though, because I know Surziel does add Celine, or any Evil Eye card, or is it just Celine? Something like that. Yeah, it adds any Evil Eye card, but it's probably going to add Celine. While it's equipped with Celine, you can target special monster opponent controls and destroy it, so that can pop the Karis, and they can punch me directly with the Surziel as well. And it's really cool because during the next standby phase, after the effect was activated, it can pop a card you control, or it has to pop a card you control. So you pop the field spell, and then the field spell will add back an Evil Eye monster from graveyard, which could be the Basilius here. And then that's going to send an Evil Eye spell or trap from deck to the graveyard. And during the main phase, blah, blah, blah. And that is an actual Celine, interesting. Pay 1,000, banish an Evil Eye spell or trap from graves, so just banish the trap card and then set this again. They can go for a Link 2 here. There's actually a lot of different things they can go for, which is interesting. They do have to remember to use the Surziel here for maximum value, though, to pop the Karis, and then during the next standby, pop this, add back the Surziel or the Basilius from graveyard to hand. They can actually do a lot just from searching the field spell, which I find really interesting. Alright, so they're not using the effect of Surziel, which is interesting. They do go into Gorgon, which is an Imperm. Ooh, that could be a little bit scary for me. And then that's going to pop a monster this card points to. That can pop opponent's monsters too, which is cool. I'm just genuinely shocked they didn't go for Surziel and then punch directly with 2200, but I guess they didn't want to pop their field spell just yet. And then Celine... Okay, I had to make sure if it gave it, like, protection or anything. Ooh, that is a good top deck for me. Alright, that'll actually... Interesting. I guess I can't target it. Okay, it cannot be destroyed or targeted. I had to see if it was given a protection. I just completely ignored the fact that it did have protection. Let's go ahead and activate Bird Call here. We do have to grab Turquoise because we don't have a thing engraved for Barrel Canary. So this could be a little bit annoying, but... we should be fine. Actually, I could have specialed the Cobalt there, but that would honestly just give me the same outcome. I'd rather bait the Imperm effect now. Yeah, let's go ahead and activate this. They're probably just going to straight up use the Gorgon effect here. If not, that would also probably be fine. As long as we can get access to our Recital Starling, whether we have to normal summon or not. Because that can get us into a Barrel Canary, which can at least get us into, like, a Zeus or something. Alright, yeah, so they're activating the effect of the Gorgon. It's just an Imperm. I'm perfectly fine with that. And that does make them pay life points, right? Yeah, it gains 500 attack, blah, 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 yeah. So it's going to go up to 2,700, but they do lose 500 life points. But I'm going to go ahead and normal summon the Cobalt Sparrow now. Let me just check the graveyard real quick, making sure there's nothing in here. Okay. And then let's go into our Recital. I'm going into the Recital first before I do anything, because that can not only get more damage out, but it can also help me climb into some more follow-up as well. Let's go ahead and activate... well, I mean, we can't really do that on the Gorgon, so let's just not activate that. I don't want to juice up the Recital Starling. I'm going to go ahead and detach the Cobalt Sparrow, and then I'm going to go for the Barrel Canary. And I'm thinking we might actually be able to pull off the Recital Starling OTK on camera here, which would be pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and use the Barrel Canary to special itself and the Cobalt Sparrow. Triggering the effect of Cobalt Sparrow, we're going to add, of course, our Sapphire Swallow from deck to hand. And then we're going to turn both of these into a second Recital Starling. Bada bing, bada boom. This one is going to have a little bit more attack, but it's not really a big issue. And we are going to detach here. Probably just going to get rid of the Cobalt Sparrow. And then we are going to search for... I think I'm going to go for a Celestine Wagtail, just for a little bit of extra follow-up. Just in case. Getting that third bird call might be really nice. Let's go ahead and go Sapphire here, specialing herself and the Celestine Wagtail. I'm just going to dodge that arrow just in case. Activating the Celestine in order to search for the bird call. Bada bing, bada boom. And then let's go ahead and turn both of these into an assembled Nightingale. And we will have to use the full OTK. We can't just use the Recital Starling to punch, unfortunately, because it is 100 attack too large, which is really funny. But let's go ahead and go into battle phase now. I'm going to punch directly 3 times with the Assembled Nightingale because it has 3 materials. And then I'm going to activate the effect of Assembled Nightingale. I'm going to detach the Celestine. And then I'm going to crash the Recital Starling into the Gorgon. And I'm not sure if the field spell will reflect anything here. Yeah, you can make the battle damage from this battle also inflicted to your opponent, but I mean, I don't take battle damage there, and this is not only a great showcase of how this deck can kill things, but also the fact that the Recital Starling OTK does in fact work, so anyone that tells you at locals otherwise is a complete crock. Alright, let's go ahead and try to get one more game in for the video, and we have a Kageta Kage mate now. There are so many mates and accessories that I have not seen since, or like just period in the game, because I just don't actively play it all the time. I've stuck with my Ash Blossom mate since the very beginning of the game, and I only just recently changed my profile picture from regular Ecclesia to the Chronicles Ecclesia from the vent. So, I mean, I don't even know half these things exist. But we are going second here. We did lose the coin flip, and we have the best track to round off the set with. This is by far my favorite theme in the game, and this is Galaxy Photon. Interesting. Not really sure what I hit with my singular imperm against this deck. It's also another deck I've been testing out for Sleeper Sunday. This adds a Photon or Galaxy Speller Trap from deck to hand, blah blah. Honestly, it might just be better to save the imperm. Yeah, I think saving the imperm might actually be the best play. Yeah, I'm gonna hold off and just use this for the end phase, or not the end phase, but on my turn when they have disruptions, and then use the rest of my gas to play through anything else. Holy shit, they summoned my Draco Future to their field. Oh my god. I didn't think they were gonna use that effect. I thought they were gonna like banish my Zeus or something, but they actually just summoned my Draco Future. Oh, this is gonna be a fun one. So their end board consists of Soul Flare and the Neo Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon, or whatever it is. So basically, it's a big pseudo towers only by monster effects, and this is a discard to pop a special summon monster. I think I'm just gonna start by imperming the Neo Galaxy Eyes Prime guy. Just go ahead and get him out of the way. I don't actually have an out to it other than that imperm, to be fair. But let's go ahead and go for a bird call now to start our turn. This can be a little bit of a bluff, but we do have a called by as well. But I think it's interesting because we didn't really start with anything particularly great. Like we have a bunch of extenders, but no real starter cards, so that makes things a little bit awkward. But I'm going to go ahead and special summon the Turquoise anyway, and maybe attempt to bait out this Soul Flare Dragon a little bit. And then we're going to use this to special to our field. And, oh, they might actually not have any... I don't know, they added something from grave to hand off its effects, so they should have this live, right? During your opponent's main phase, you can discard a Photon card or and a Galaxy card, or... Oh, they have to have both. Well, then I'm not tripping at all. Let's go ahead and kill this guy.
Kill that guy.
Alright, so the goal is we're going to do the Recital Starling OTK again. I was so tempted to just draw the game, because you can do that with the Recital Starlings. If you make two recitals, you can just punch both into something that's 4,000 or more and just draw the game, which I've done to win in time before, which was really funny, or to get a game one done that I otherwise would have lost the next turn. It's a very valid strategy, not gonna lie. But I think I might just play it safe here. Let's go ahead and get an actual win for real. Let's turn both of these into another Recital Starling. I'll juice up his guy again just in case. To be fair, I said I didn't have an out for this guy. I should have impermed that guy because I can always just use it as a big beat stick fodder for the Recital Starlings. It's just so funny that you can do that. Let's go ahead and activate this Recital here, detaching a Cobalt or something, adding like a Celestine. Ooh, this is gonna be so great. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. And that is going to do it for my Master Duel Bird Up replays. Really hope you did enjoy it. It is so much fun to be able to play this deck full power again. I really missed some work as a Bird Up player. It kind of like alleviated the need for any of the extra engines like Herald of Arclight and stuff like that, because you don't need to have that for the Omni Negate, and you don't need to have any sort of follow-up engine like Revolt either. It just lets you play just the Simorgh, and sometimes that's enough. I might try to do some more Master Duel content from here on out. Maybe some more Bird Up, maybe some other stuff. stuff, but until then, that's going to do it for the video. If you liked it, please sure to leave a like, as I will put this video and the channel into the YouTube recommended. And if you rate this content, somewhere like the rest of my Master Duel content, again, I'm going to try to pump out a little bit more, then perhaps consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you don't miss it, because it supports the channel more than anything else, and it's absolutely free. Also because we're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2024. Also, you can support me directly while getting some awesome TCG merchandise in the process. Check out Tapio cards in the link down below. Use code AURORA5 for 5% off your purchase at checkout, and support Beyond financially. But once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Aurora, signing off.